Wasabi guys, welcome back to another Commander Deck Tech video. This time we have another competitive EDH one, so if that's what you're into, stick around. If not, well, the deck is going to be a bit more expensive. As you can see on the bottom there, the total cost is over $12,000. I get one of two arguments. I usually get someone who's like, it's not that big of a deal, you can just proxy cards. True. And then you get the other argument where it's like, why should I watch this? Because it's too expensive. So I don't know what to tell you guys. Pick one. But before I get on to the video, I'd first like to remind you that if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. It really helps me out here. We have a Tasigur control deck for competitive EDH. It is called Golden Control by Sinestra here on Moxfield. This is not my own deck. This is not my own deck. I got someone confused on that in a previous video for deck techs. I do want to kind of focus on other people's decks. I can really take advantage of looking at this person's primer and also help you guys understand how this deck is supposed to work. But this is a really cool deck I've been looking at for the past couple weeks because I've been looking to build a competitive control deck myself, and Tasigur has just one of the coolest abilities to really take advantage of control in competitive EDH. So before I look at the primer, let's just go over the whole deck here. Of course, we have Tasigur. If you don't know what he does, he's a delve creature. Huge benefit to that, since a lot of our cards are going to end up in the graveyard. We exile them and we make them cheaper, so we can get them out there really early with the help of our mana dorks as well. But that ability though, the 4 mana that you pay there, 2 of that mana is hybrid green and blue. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, then return a non-land card of an opponent's choice from your graveyard to your hand. This is one of the most political abilities in the game because it pretty much gives your opponent the choice of giving you the best card in your graveyard or not. If you're behind in the game, it's a 4-player game, they might just let you have a board wipe, so they might just let you have a removal spell of any kind. But going over each card here, we have a Planeswalker, Teferi, Master of Time. 4 mana, you know, that's above average, I think, for the converted mana cost of cards here. But 4 mana for what this Planeswalker does each turn is ridiculous. Draw a card, discard a card. Target creature you don't control phases out, it's defensive, and you have the potential of taking an extra 2 turns. Our creatures are going to be pretty simple here. We have Birds of Paradise for mana ramp, Dark Confidant. Just to get some more cards, we have Deathrite Shaman, so you can pretty much take advantage of what's in the graveyard, make it easy to get back something with Tasigur. Elves of Deep Shadow for more mana, Elvish Spirit Guide to get more mana, Hull Breacher to take advantage of wheel abilities and just punish our opponents if they want to draw more cards. Nezahal Primal Tide is an interesting one here because it really takes advantage of our commander's higher casting cost. Tasigur is a commander for competitive play that I think is a bit more expensive than what most people would be used to paying for a commander, but again, the upside is that you have Delve, you can make him cheaper. This, however, makes it easy for you to use cards that sacrifice and then search for a creature with that same cost plus 1. So we'll see that here, but Nezahal is just a great creature. If they play a non-creature spell, you get to draw a card, it can pretty much exile itself, protect itself from removal. We have Seedborn Muse to take advantage of untapping our artifacts, untapping our creatures, our mana dorks there. And of course our lands so that we can use that ability of Tasigur more often. We have Thassa's Oracle for our win con. I don't know if this is the primary win con, but I think it's certainly up there. With Tasigur's ability, if you do get infinite mana, you are able to deck yourself out. At that point, you just play Thassa's Oracle and you win. We have 13 sorceries here. Culling Ritual, the newest card here from Strixhaven. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less, and it's like a ritual, of course. So you get black and green mana for each permanent destroyed this way. That's just insane. Demonic Tutor and Diabolic Intent. Because tutoring is very strong in black, why not? But these 2 cards here on the right are the ones I'm talking about, Neoform and Eldritch Evolution. Both of these will allow you to sacrifice our Tasigur and then search up our Nezahal. And mid-game, if you have nothing going on for you Tasigur-wise, why not just sacrifice him? You know, get a better creature out there that will let you draw more cards. This is really a good strategy because it's never a pain to have to recast Tasigur with that delve. And then we have Gitaxian Probe to draw a card, Imperial Seal, more tutoring, Mnemonic Betrayal, kind of like a Yawgmoth's Will, but for our opponent's graveyards. This card is so underrated. I don't know why it doesn't see more play. It's only $6 too, so it's one I recommend you go pick up if you haven't already. Peer into the Abyss, big time staple now, I think, in most black decks. 7 mana is expensive, but you are filling your hand with half your deck, so a lot of zero-costed artifacts that can help you win from that point. We have Praetor's Grasp to search our opponent's library, steal something from them, Time Twister, and we have Windfall, so these two with Hull Breacher are pretty nasty. We have Yawgmoth's Will, better than Mnemonic Betrayal because we can set up our graveyard ourselves, we can win off of that. We have our instants, Abrupt Decay for removal, Ad Nauseam to go off and potentially win in a single turn. We have Brainstorm, Chain of Vapor for a little bit more bounce removal. We have Cyclonic Rift, more bounce removal. We have, I believe this is Dark Ritual. It's a different card art, but that is Dark Ritual. We have Demonic Consultation. Really great to combo this with Thassa's Oracle, because you just play this until you have no more cards left in your library, and then you play your Thassa's Oracle. We have Dramatic Reversal to combo likely with Isochron Scepter. We haven't seen it yet, but that's most likely why this is in here. Fierce Guardianship to counter while our Tasigur is out there. Flusterstorm, another counterspell. Force of Negation, more countering. Force of Will, more countering. Mana Drain, more countering, but you get mana. We have Mental Misstep, more countering. We have Miscast, more countering. We have Muddle the Mixture, more countering, but it has Transmute, so you can search for another card with that mana value of 2, which is most likely going to be Isochron Scepter, so you generate infinite mana, and you funnel that into Tasigur's ability. Mystical Tutor, search for an instant or sorcery, you get to put it on top, so that has a cool interaction with our commander. Noxious Revival, great way to put something on the top of our library. We have Pact of Negation, more countering. We have Sacrifice. You know, I see a lot of cool ritual cards like this that not a lot of people are playing, but you're going to have your commander out there, your Tasigur, and he's not going to be super useful all the time. So sacrifice him and get 6 black mana. And then we have Stubborn Denial, more countering. We have Swan Song, more countering. So we have Tainted Pact here. I had to actually look that up for a second because I didn't recognize the artwork, but Tainted Pact is kind of like a demonic consultation card. You just exile until you get to the card that you want, and in a similar way, it's super easy to combo with Thassa's Oracle. We have Vampiric Tutor, another tutor card. We have Veil of Summer, just to stop our opponents from countering our spells. We have Arcane Signet for our mana rocks here. Birthing Pod, another card that's going to make it easy for us to get to our Nezahal, and once we get to Nezahal, we can just play control at that point. Chrome Mox, Dimir Signet, Felwar Stone, Grim Monolith, Isochron Scepter for that combo with Dramatic Reversal to get infinite mana with a lot of these mana rocks. We have Jeweled Lotus, really cool because our commander's 3 colors for color identity, but also 6 mana, so you only really need 3 black mana to play Tasigur. Turn 1, pretty easily you can get him out there, which just makes the rest of the game so easy. Lotus Petal. These also fill the graveyard too, which is a nice benefit. Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Mox Diamond, Mox Opal, Simic Signet, Soul Ring, Talisman of Dominance, and Wishclaw Talisman. We have Carpet of Flowers for our enchantments, Mystic Remora, Necropotence, Rhystic Study, and Sylvan Library. So these are pretty standard, I think. You'll find that most competitive decks that play green, blue, and black are playing these enchantments. And our lands looks to be what you would expect, a lot of good dual lands, Ancient Tomb, Gemstone Cavern, so you get quicker mana. Got Phyrexian Tower, so you can sacrifice one of our mana dorks for even more mana. You get a bunch of fetch lands, and you get some more dual lands there. So let's read a bit of this primer here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, that would take me a while. Pros and cons to this deck. You will enjoy playing Golden Control if you like interacting with your opponents, making deals with your opponents to stop other opponents, having a commander that is easy to cast over and over again, cheating it to play huge creatures, and being able to pivot from controlling the table to enabling a fast win. You will not enjoy playing Golden Control if you would prefer to play a deck that has very clear goals. Or you want to play a deck with the capability of explosive comebacks from a single card like a Dockside Extortionist, or you do not enjoy making deals with your opponents, or if you want to utilize powerful white and red cards like Underworld Breach or Silence. So, game plan here, general strategies, we have Turbo. This strategy relates to any attempt to win essentially around turns 2 or 3. Early Oracle Consult, Ad Nauseam, Necropotence, etc. are all classified as turbo strategies. Although it is certainly possible to execute turbo wins, I want to stress that the deck does not look to consistently accomplish this goal compared to aggressive decks, such as farm decks and Hermit Druid decks. Even still, going for a turbo strategy might be Tasigur's best chance of winning the match. Grinding Value. This strategy is probably going to be the more common strategy in this deck in general. This strategy looks to develop early ramp, then establish a card advantage engine, and then eventually snowball into a win. There are a good number of ways to do this. In Golden Control, you can either land multiple card advantage engines such as Dark Confidant, Occam Adversary, Rhystic Study, Mystic Remora, or you can land powerful creatures such as Seedborn Muse or Consecrated Sphinx. Now this updated deck that we just saw, did not include a Consecrated Sphinx, so it's really just about that Nezahal. Remember that it will nearly be impossible to bury 3 opponents simultaneously with value forever. Think of grinding value as a way to generate enough card advantage and interaction so that you can safely go for a win attempt when you think there is an opening. Now the win cons, this is how the deck wins. Consultation. This is the most straightforward combo and beats almost every kind of stacks piece. If games go long and it looks like there's a lot of stacks pieces out there, especially for ISO Rev, this might be the best way to go. Thassa's Oracle, cast Thassa's Oracle, and then Thassa's Oracle ETB triggers goes on the stack. Respond to Thassa's Oracle ETB trigger with either Demonic Consultation or Tainted Pact to remove your library and win the game. With Jace Wielder of Mysteries, but as we saw, that's changed in the updated deck. And Isochron Rev. So Isochron Scepter and Dramatic Reversal is a combo that fits very nicely in this deck while taking up minimal deck slots. Although it is much more vulnerable to hate compared to Consult and potentially more setup, it is a very easy combo to assemble for only 4 colorless mana. Isochron Scepter plus Dramatic Reversal also helps improve the win condition density within the deck. And then once you go infinite, you can pretty much just infinitely cast something like a Praetor's Grasp, Peer into the Abyss to target your opponents, make it so that when they draw, they lose the game on their next turns. Or you can do something even funnier, give yourself infinite bird tokens off of constantly casting a Swan Song, countering your own spell. So anyway, let me know what you think about Sinestra's deck here. I think it's a really good deck, something I'm looking forward to playing myself. I'm not looking for like the most competitive, the deck that can win within the first few turns consistently. I'm actually just looking for a deck that can shut those ones down, because they're everywhere. But as always, I will have the deck list in the description below. Go check me out over on Moxfield. All of that info will be in the description, so if you want to follow me over there, I would really appreciate it. And also subscribe, like, comment, share, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Void here signing off. See you all next time.